Have you ever mentioned your salary or how much you've saved only to instantly wish you hadn't? Maybe the room went quiet, maybe a friend's tone changed, or maybe someone made a comment that stuck with you. Money brings out strange reactions in people. Envy, judgment, even resentment, and oversharing, even with the people you trust, can quietly backfire. It can damage relationships, affect opportunities, and even put your financial security at risk. In this video, we're breaking down the things you should never share about your money and one bonus tip that could save you from major headaches down the road. These are lessons most people learn the hard way, but avoiding them can protect your finances, your reputation, and your peace of mind. First, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You'll help spread this information and make it easier for others to avoid these major financial mistakes. You might think sharing your net worth or savings is harmless, but it's much more dangerous than you think. Everyone likes to talk about success. Maybe you've built a nest egg, saved aggressively, or made some smart investments. These achievements take time, effort, and discipline, and it's natural to feel proud and want to share. But unfortunately, it's almost never a good idea. Here's the problem. Once someone knows that number, their perception of you changes. Imagine a coworker casually mentions they've saved $200,000 for retirement. At first, it feels harmless, a neutral fact. But soon, subtle tension starts to appear. The person listening, who might be struggling financially, could comment, "I guess some of us are just better at handling money." What was meant as a neutral fact suddenly creates awkwardness, jealousy, or even resentment. Or picture this. A friend learns you've saved a decent amount of money and starts jokingly asking for a loan for a minor emergency. They might say something like, "I'm really having trouble paying rent this month. I might even lose my place." And then pause, waiting to see your reaction. At first, it's small, but soon it feels like pressure, and it begins to color every interaction. Conversations that used to be fun and casual become strained, and you can feel the tension. Your progress, something you worked hard for, becomes a source of discomfort. No one benefits from knowing, and sharing often invites complications you didn't anticipate. Not everyone needs to know where your money comes from, or how much extra you're making on the side. Maybe you've got a small online business, a rental property, or a freelance gig that quietly adds to your income. That's great, but sharing those details often creates more problems than it solves. Even casual mentions can change how people see you. Maybe you tell a coworker your Etsy shop made a few $1,000s this month, and they respond with something like, "Wow, must be nice to have all that free time," as if you too wouldn't rather be spending time with friends, family, or scrolling on TikTok instead of spending hours working after you get home from a full workday. Underneath that statement, there's judgment and jealousy. Soon, they're questioning whether you're really focused at work or hinting that you've got it easy. They might start undermining your chances for promotions, create tension with colleagues, or even interfere with your interactions with your boss or clients. Or maybe a friend starts downplaying their own efforts or tossing in comments like, "There's more to life than money, you know." What was once a normal friendship suddenly feels competitive. The truth is, you don't owe anyone an explanation for your income streams. Talking about them rarely helps, and more often, it opens the door to envy, gossip, or unwanted opinions. Keeping those details to yourself protects your peace of mind and lets you keep moving towards your goals without guilt or judgment from others. Debt is one of the most stressful aspects of anyone's financial life. Student loans, credit card balances, or medical bills. These are deeply personal, and how you manage them often affects your self-esteem and decision-making. It's natural to want to confide in someone, but oversharing can backfire. Imagine telling someone the interest rate on your car loan. Maybe you bought the car with a 1% interest rate instead of paying cash, so you could invest the lump sum. This strategy works for you, but someone who doesn't believe in carrying any debt might think you're reckless and start offering unsolicited advice that clashes with your plan. Soon, snippets of the conversation spread, and others begin questioning your financial choices as if it were any of their business. Or consider sharing debt struggles with a friend who handles money very differently. You might explain how overwhelmed you feel by student loans, and they respond by urging you to pay everything off immediately, even if your strategy is more balanced. Even well-meaning opinions can create doubt, anxiety, and second-guessing. The problem is that hearing advice from all angles only clouds your own judgment. When your plan is constantly questioned, it's harder to stick with it, and that hesitation can slow your progress towards your goals. Keeping your strategies private allows you to follow your plan confidently, avoid unnecessary stress, and make steady progress without interference. Never reveal the specifics of your investments. It might seem harmless to mention what fund you place your retirement in, a stock you're buying, a rental property you're considering, or a new crypto project, but even casual disclosures can create unexpected problems. Imagine mentioning to someone that you're looking at a rental property. At first, they seem supportive, but soon the questions get more detailed. asking about addresses, potential risks, projected profits, and other specifics. Someone who started out neutral or helpful can unintentionally become a competitor, and suddenly you've got another person in the mix you're competing against for the same opportunities. Casual remarks about your portfolio can influence how you think about your strategy. Comments from friends or acquaintances, even well-meaning ones, can make you second-guess choices you spent months researching. The risk extends beyond just judgment. Once others are aware of your holdings, your assets could become targets for legal disputes or unwanted claims. Setting financial goals is motivating. You're thinking about buying a house, paying off debt, launching a business, or retiring early. Naturally, you want to share your excitement and have people cheer you on. But not everyone will respond the way you hope. Some people aren't focused on long-term planning and can feel uncomfortable when someone else sets their clear objectives. For example, if you tell friends you aim to save $30,000 this year, a few might offer encouragement, but others could make offhand remarks like, "Why bother? You can't take it with you." Or upon hearing about your house search, they say things like, "This is a terrible time to buy. Prices are headed down. Interest rates are sky high. You can say goodbye to your weekends," as if you hadn't considered any of that. Instead of concentrating on your own progress, you're dealing with their judgments or insecurities. The result? What started as motivation can quickly become a source of doubt or distraction. Sharing goals too widely can dilute the satisfaction and clarity that comes from pursuing them on your own terms. Plus, when you talk about your goals before achieving them, much of the excitement and sense of accomplishment is lost. Instead of feeling proud and rewarded when you hit the milestone, you may find the achievement feels less special because others already know about it. And here's a bonus tip. Don't overshare your finances when dating. Many people make a detrimental mistake by revealing too much about their money early in a relationship. Picture this. You've been on a couple of dates with someone who seems great. In the excitement of getting to know each other, you casually mention that you've been investing in real estate and have a solid savings cushion. Whether or not this was intended to impress them, the relationship may take a turn for the wrong reasons. Your date seems impressed and supportive. They think you're their ticket to a lavish lifestyle and early retirement. And then over the next few interactions, you start noticing interesting behavior. They begin acting weird, as if you're their path to wealth. Maybe they hint at marriage too soon, or try to involve you in paying for vacations, their bills, or even their car. You've essentially shifted the focus, so that your money, rather than who you are or how you connect with others, becomes the main point of attention. Even if interactions aren't malicious, sharing too much too soon can make you vulnerable to being used or misjudged. You want a partner who values you for who you are, and not your money. Keep specifics about your income, savings, or investments private until the relationship is well established, and both of you have a mature, mutual understanding about finances. But have you ever noticed how people's reactions change once you really start succeeding? People love when you're trying, but not always when you're winning. When you're starting from the bottom working towards a goal, people admire the effort. They see your hustle and cheer you on. But once you start achieving real success and surpass their achievements, that admiration can fade. People feel threatened or uncomfortable when your results surpass expectations, and the support you once had can quietly turn into scrutiny or criticism. Others get jealous of your effort. Even before you achieve a big milestone, the dedication you show can spark envy. People notice the long hours, discipline, or sacrifices you make, and instead of celebrating your determination, some may compare themselves and feel inadequate. It makes them feel lazy, like they should be doing more. People are funny when it comes to money, and it's surprising how just sharing, or even just having, financial achievements can change how others treat you. Money tends to amplify reactions. Even close friends and family, who you'd expect to be supportive, can suddenly act differently. Their behavior often reflects their own insecurities, priorities, or unspoken expectations, rather than a genuine interest in your success. Think about someone at your local coffee shop or gym. They drive a reliable car, often a run-of-the-mill brand, but maybe in a higher trim level. They wear simple clothes and talk casually about everyday life. You might assume they're living paycheck to paycheck, or just comfortably middle class. In reality, they could have a fully funded investment portfolio, multiple rental properties, or assets most people only dream about. Wealthy people prefer to fly under the radar. Most of them practice what's called stealth wealth. They live modestly, they're not flashy, and they keep their financial lives private. You'd never guess by looking at them that they're rich. Of course, there are some high-profile, flashy outliers, but they're the exception and not the rule. Stealth wealth isn't about secrecy for the sake of it. It's about safeguarding your freedom, keeping your relationships free from judgment, and preserving your peace of mind. It lets your money grow and work for you without being weighed down by other people's opinions, expectations, or distractions. So have you ever overshared and noticed a shift in your relationship with someone?